Hello and welcome to our latest video. Today what I want to talk about is building a successful career. I'm often asked and have been at various points in my career to share my own story in terms of how I've achieved what I have achieved. The number one thing I've always said to people is always have a goal. So people always ask me, have you always known what you wanted to do and where you wanted to end up? And my answer to that has always been yes. And it's always changed. In every moment along my career, I've had a really clear goal that I've wanted to achieve. I've thought that I've had a long-term vision of where I wanted to go. But the reality is that long-term vision has changed multiple times. I didn't even know what I do now was a thing. I remember I graduated from university with a physical education degree, went into the business world and discovered this thing called HR. I'd never heard of that when I was at school, just for whatever reason wasn't surrounded by the people that were making me aware of that path. When I discovered that this thing existed, for the record, I actually thought it was a joke. I thought, really? Is this someone's job? This sounds like way too much fun to actually get paid to do that. So I found a passion early, but I didn't know exactly what the path looked like, let alone how to get there. So as I said, started off in phys ed, went into client service, working in client service and administration roles, then discovered this thing called HR, and then decided to study a master's degree in HR whilst I was still working as a line manager. So I share my own personal story just to illustrate the point. Don't stress if you have no idea what you want to be. I've met people who didn't know what they wanted to be when they grew up until they were in their 40s or 50s. There's plenty of time for us to explore possibilities and to change direction if we have the courage and determination to do it. So that leads to my next piece of advice is make sure that you are conscious or aware of how is this particular job or experience adding value to my career. Often I will coach people who are over their job, they want to move on, they hate their boss, they hate the culture, whatever it is, and they don't want to be there. But they don't always feel like they have the ability just to immediately change direction. My advice to those people always is, what is now teaching you? For example, you might have a manager who's quite challenging to influence. Well, I'd encourage you to use them as a guinea pig. Practice on that person. If you have conscious awareness that ultimately I want to become a better influencer or I want to be influential in my career, I want other people or decision makers to take on board my advice or implement my recommendations, whatever it might be. That challenging relationship could absolutely be an opportunity. That's just one example where people have felt, what is the point of this? Why am I here? But when they've actually shifted that mindset to look at, okay, well, what will I gain? If I stay here for, even in the short term while I'm looking for another job, how can I extract value from this one? So obviously that's if things aren't good. Hopefully you are in a job that you actually like. But again, the same rule applies. Are there experiences that I need to gain or skills or areas of knowledge that I need to develop further in order for the next step to be an option for me, to be able to open up that door? So I've always seen my career, and I encourage the clients I work with to see their careers as a series of decisions where it's almost like collecting building blocks of knowledge and experiences that ultimately take you to a place. Don't sweat it if you don't know what the long-term goal is. Just have a goal for now. Just think about, what is the job that I'm in? What is the next one I could potentially be striving for? This is all assuming, obviously, you want to climb the career ladder. You might just want to have a career where you feel satisfied. But whatever version of success is for you, make sure that you're conscious and clear around how will this experience add value to that. Remember, it's okay to change down the track. And remember that it's all about building experience of those, collecting those building blocks of skills and experience and knowledge. And then the other thing I would say, in any career path that you're interested in pursuing, relationships are going to matter. If you are somebody who needs to build stronger interpersonal engagement skills, I'd encourage you to do that, to understand who are the stakeholders around you that can support your career. Do you have a mentor that you can draw on? Are there people within your organisation, for example, if you do want to progress down a certain path? Are there other stakeholders already within the organisation who have gone down that path? before and are willing or able to mentor you perhaps. They might be somebody who is a decision maker, that ultimately if you want to take that step, that this is the person that's going to make that decision. Again, be proactive around that. Reach out to those people, connect with those people, forge really strong relationships, and you're entirely more likely to have the opportunity to at least pitch for the opportunity. So yeah, it's not just who you know, as we're often told. It's actually who knows what you know. Are there people out there that have awareness of what you're capable of and where your potential lies, and critically what you want to do? Can't tell you how often I've met people who have never actually disclosed to somebody else what they truly want to be. So make sure you connect with those people and they know what your aspirations are. So if you want more insight to building your career and thriving both at work and in life, check out our podcast, which is Work Savvy, available on Spotify as well as our website. And also obviously check out our blogs. Thanks for joining me.